What's up, guys? Today we're doing something a little bit different than before. So it's not quite as much a guide as more of like a walkthrough of a fight that I've been in. So I've done this type of video in the past where I would analyze a video from a different player. I kind of walk through what I was thinking, what I would my thought processes as the fight went on. But it's been a few months, a lot's changed in the game since then, so I kind of want to do this again. Today we're looking at a fight I had about a week ago in a 1v2 in the final circle. It's crazy. I'm playing Tempest Fire. So yeah, it's pretty wild. Let's check it out. Here we go. All right, so let's jump right in. So as you can see here, we're still in that second to last circle. It's actually about to close because if you notice the blue ring on the mini map is like right next to the white one. It's gonna be about the last circle in a second. But as you can see, it's 3 players left. It's just me in this game against these 2 people. So this last team I've spotted. If you look right in the I'm backwards. Right up there, in that top left corner of my screen, you can see both of them on that pedestal up there. I spotted them. So what I'm trying to do is kind of letting them come to me with the fight. I don't really want to push into their zone because they're gonna jump me, because they don't know where I am at this point. I'm hoping that they're gonna kind of spread out and look for me, so I can face them one-on-one, ideally instead of going for any 1v2 right away. Alright, so very, very small, but I see one kind of peel off the left a little bit to kind of shift over to stay hidden, but I still don't go so far over as I expose myself to the guy on the right side, right? Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? Hey. Alright, so very quick, that the guy who's on the right originally, he separates from the other one. And at this point, I don't know what any of them have. I'm trying to kind of get a feel for who I'm fighting. So the guy separates from the other one, he comes close to me. I try and get a feel for what he has. He didn't shoot back right away, but I want to get a gauge on his health, how good he is, how his movement is, and also see what his teammate has too. So right away I notice that his teammate has lightning because he throws down the lightning sorcery on me. Let's see what else comes up. You're getting focused first because you're a conduit. Perfect. I'm glad that my past self said that. So, as a Tempest player, one of the most annoying things that can happen is getting just beamed by a conduit. So I just said, hey, you're getting focused first because you're a conduit. It still applies. Playing against a conduit as a Tempest is very annoying because you're in the air and they're like, oh great, thanks, bzzz, and they just beam you. So yeah, I switched from that first guy, even though I damaged him early, I switched focus to this guy because he's a conduit. All right, so right here, as I'm talking, right after I finish my sentence, listen to what you hear in the background, like about what the guy is doing. You're getting focused first because you're a conduit. Did you hear it? You hear it again, you'll see it in a second. Right there. So as a Tempest player too, having someone with a Frost offhand or just a Frost against you is also kind of frustrating, because if you're stuck in midair, you're gonna get absolutely railed for damage, and you can lose like 70, 80 damage in one shot these days with Frost. So while I'm fighting this guy, you notice in that first, just as we kind of breeze through it, the whole time I was trying to move. So I was trying to be super hard to predict in midair, because if I was just hanging there, the Frost guy just beaming for all my health. Even that right there, I was looking to the guy with the Frost, and I saw him lining up a shot, so I kind of shot a fireball at him to distract him, and I dodged in midair to miss this ice lance that came through on the right side of your screen, not get hit by it. And if you notice, I'm still basically full health. I've hit the counter guy at least once with the fireball. I hit the Frost guy at least once with the fireball, so I know that they're already a little bit lower, but still 1v2 is tough, so I have to stay mobile and stay super active to not get hit. So right there, I get hit by a fireball by the conduit person, I believe. So my first thought is, okay, get out a little bit, reset, find where they are, because like in that exchange, I kind of lost where they were in space, and I got hit by the guy with conduit by a fireball. So my first instinct was, okay, get height, see both of them in the air. And at this point, I spotted both of them. They're both in that middle and right corner of the screen, and you can tell the guy on the right as well as lining up a Frost shot. So I throw a dodge in there just to keep things a little bit more mobile. He shoots a little bit later. Right there, he misses, but if you notice that my health only went down by a little bit because I got hit by the conduit. So I'm trying to stay in the air and have space, but not be just like falling straight down, right? Again, it's pretty common for a Tempest to want to be right on top of your opponents, right? So if you notice that I hit that fireball on top of the conduit guy, it's super easy to aim down and hit somebody than trying to like aim up and track them in the air. So Tempest player especially, I mean really all classes, but especially Tempest, you want to be right above the people you're fighting, especially with like fire, makes it way easier to do damage, and it's harder for them to track you as well. So when I threw down my tornado to get height, I also put my fire wall on it to get damage. If you listen in the background, I'll go back. There's the fireball. Every one of those ticks is for like 4 damage. So that was just like 40 damage. I just like, every one of those ticks was for like 4 damage. So every one of those, I just like melted off like 20 or 30 damage from the. So I shot a fireball at my tornado to get damage on the Frostborn guys. I saw he was down there. Even though I was fighting the conduit guy, I was able to get damage on both of them at the same time because I had my resources spread out, you know? Alright, so now I have the conduit guy low. If you saw, I hit him for a couple of wind slaps. I hit him for 40 damage with the fireball. So now I want to end this fight, right? It's getting a little bit late. My shield's basically gone at this point, and he's at like half health, no shield. So I want to focus him. That's the goal here. However, I lose him. I see him here in that house going in the left here, but I'm low too. They've both backed off. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to reset. They're not attacking me. I'm going to try and take a shield right now. There's a little shield, actually 15 health. 15 health can make a big difference. Doesn't seem like much, but at the end of the day, it could be down to that 5 HP with a win. Everything you can get counts. Oh, that was a mistake. That was bad. So, up until now, I had thought that the guy with conduit was a conduit main and with fire offhand. That was wrong. I should have realized that because earlier on in the fight when he put the conduit on top of me with lightning strike, it only struck 1 time. It wasn't 5 times like you get with the last circle bonus. So he's a pyromancer. A pyromancer in a tight enclosed area will melt your health. Like if he hits a couple direct fireballs, which he did, just 2 direct fireballs can do like 90 damage on their own, plus ignite for an extra like 10 or 15 damage. Plus, if any of those side confly fireballs at me, it's even more damage. So I had a little bit of shield and full health. Dang it. I'm down to 39 HP here. Big mistake. So as soon as I get hit by those fireballs, I'm like, nope. I yeet myself out of there and I try and find cover to heal up. I'm not going to win a 1v2 with 40 health, right? So I get out of there, try and find a bush to heal up, and kind of just find this little pocket back here. So they're looking for me, but I'm kind of hidden in this corner of the house next to zone. They're not going to see me. And I get almost all my reds up. My shield's basically full. I can get back into the fight. So right there, if you notice, the pyromancer doesn't have any shield. It's just health. So what I'm trying to do here is focusing him. Because remember, he still has his conduit offhand, because he's being annoying to deal with. This whole exchange, just like before we talked about, in a 1v2 especially, not just a 1v1, but a 1v2, your goal is to be just as unpredictable and just as kind of everywhere at once as you can be. Especially as a Tempest, when you're running spring step or dash with the dodge, you want to be super, super active, and you want to change both lateral and vertical positioning for your opponents on their screens. Makes it way harder to track. So I'm trying to just kind of use all my resources with wind jumping, with my dash, or with my spring step, with my dodge, with my updraft. Just do everything I can to just not be in one place for more than 1 second, right? Doing that keeps me super busy on their screens and makes me a lot harder to hit. At this point, they're both with no shield. I also have no shield, but I still have 86 health. I'm not trying to decommit from this at all. I actually want to finish this because the zone's getting pretty small. There's really no room for me to heal up anymore. I want to try to end this fight fast, and I'm not going to have a chance to back off and heal like I did before. I'm trying to just get damage off as fast as I can. Big fireball. Hit him for 40. He now has, if you can tell from his health bar, that's less than 1 fireball worth of damage. So I know if I just hit him once with fire or a couple times with wind, he's done, right? So at this point, he is my only focus, getting him dead. And there it is, 1 fireball, he's down. Okay, at this point it's a 1v1, and because I have Vampiric, I'm now back to 100 HP. So knowing from what I just saw, I actually have more health than the guy I'm fighting, and I'm in a great position. All right, there's 1. And again, every single health bit counts. So I'm gone for just a split second from that guy's line of sight. I pop a shard. Sure, only 15 health, but it might make a difference, you know? And there it is. So let's summarize. In these fights, especially in 1v2s, you have to keep moving. Always. Which is why I don't really like runes like Flight or Chronomaster or Teleport, because their cooldown is just so long. You can't really do that much in combat, right? You have your dodge, yes, on a 1.5 second cooldown, which is nice, but it doesn't take you very far. With a spring step, with a dash, or a shadow step even, those types of runes keep you way more active and make it a lot easier to kind of stay mobile and hard to hit in the fight. So keep moving at all times. If you see them, take a shot for damage, right? Don't just hang out and be like, okay, I keep moving, just try and be dodge and weave, right? Try and not getting hit. You have to win the fight eventually. So like, take shots when you have them. In a 1v2, you want to try and focus the person that's going to be a bigger nuisance for you as a player. So as a Tempest player, I'm focusing Conduit. If you're playing Toxicologist, focus Pyro because they'll blow up all your clouds. If you're playing Frostborn, focus Stone Shapers because you kind of sit on the ground. They're going to just slam you for all your damage. So when you're in a fight, you have to focus on who you're fighting against and prioritize your own positioning and who you're fighting against in those 1v2 situations, right? And lastly, if you have the chance to heal, always heal. Never hesitate to take a pot. So if you have just a brief moment of a breaking line of sight from your opponents, take a mini shard, take a mini red, whatever you need to do. If you can get health, it's gonna make a huge difference in the fight. Right? Like I took a couple shards here and there mid-combat because I had the minis. It only took me like, I think it's like 2 seconds to take one. 2 seconds, 15 health makes a big difference. If you can reset and take some health, do it. All right, guys, that'll be it for today's video. Hope you learned something. If you did, drop a like and a sub down below. Really appreciate it. Helps the channel out a lot. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.